Okay.
All right, we're back here with John Tremaine,
And
and we're doing the Method Actor Speaks, and he wants to talk a little bit about
we'll just
the
do
Union.
A fast 3 minutes on the Union. The Union started in 1933. It proceeded all the way up with absolute autonomy. That is, it answered only to itself, which is what every union does, and all the way up to 2013, in which it dissolved and became another union, a part of another union named Sag-aftra. AFTRA was also another union, but it wasn't a full union in that it was not a corporate union, corporation, whereas SAG was a corporation, nonprofit. In the two coming together, there was what is known now as a false merger. It is not a legal merger. Their intent has been frozen because of that. There are two parties in the union, Unite for Strength, which is financed by the big boys, George Clooney and such, Tom Hanks. And there's our side, which is Membership First, which is run by the previous big boys, the previous presidency, Alan Rosenberg, Anne Marie Johnson, Joe D'Angerio, and a few others that are from the previous administration. The new administration is entirely backed by U4S, and that is Unite for Strength, and is a mess. There is nothing in shape. Everything is off kilter, off center. Everything is completely out of condition. Everybody keeps saying, all these things will be taken care of, no problem. No, they have not been taken care of, such as pension and health is losing money, and you are losing payments every month. All the people on it do not get a report of what's happening with it, and they have lost $2.5 billion. And I'm welcoming back to my side my dream date, Sharon Farrell.
Okay.
Anyway.
You guys talk now.
No. John Solari and I were both elected this last term to offices which are absolutely amazing. I don't know how we got it, because it was a combination of AFTRA and SAG procedures in election where we no longer had a national vice president, we now had an executive vice president. We had a president of the union, an executive vice president, several national vice presidents, but they were second, third, and fourth. We also had...
What is the change now with that? That they now have the new...
The executive vice president has all of the power. The national vice president before had the national power, but the president could tell the national vice president what to do. Now, it's not that way. The executive vice president now has all.
So what good is the president?
Figurehead. Completely a figurehead. Nothing.
Now, you're saying this on camera. This is legit? I mean,
as far as I know, as far as I can see, nobody has ever defined this. Nobody's ever said the president is doing this and the executive.
And why do you object to it?
I object to it because it is a procedure that was brought over by AFTRA, not SAG. SAG absorbed AFTRA, not the other way around. We were 140,000 people. They were 25,000. We absorbed them off the street because they were not a legit corporation.
So what you're saying is they turned it around.
They turned it exactly around. They kept the name SAG, SAG, only out of initials. They did not, those initials that are on the front of Sag-aftra do not stand for anything. They're a word, SAG. It's not
It's not Screen Actors Guild.
Right. It's not Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. Right. It is not. It's Sag-aftra.
Sag-aftra.
Right. What I want is Screen Actors Guild. That's it.
Now, what's the difference between the guild that you want and what we have now? What will be the difference?
Okay. One, all actors, no broadcasters, no this guy, no whatever they're counting in, especially no non-union. Right now we have about 20% of the membership is allowed to work off the card, which means they can go one union show in the morning and a non-union show in the evening.
How is that possible?
That's what I'd like to know.
I thought if you worked on a non-union, I'm always turning down non-union.
Yeah, I always turn down.
But you're saying you can do it.
Yeah. Under this arrangement.
Did you know that?
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Good.
FICOR. It's called FICOR. You have to call up the union, call up Screen Actors Guild, and you say, I have to work.
Yeah.
And a lot of films are being made with big stars.
Yeah.
And everybody else is non-union.
Uh-huh.
And you have to be FICOR. They try to talk you out of it. They try to threaten you. They say, oh, you can't do this. If you do this, this is going to be taken away. This is going to be taken away. And I said, well, I never used any of those things anyway. I just want to work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to work. They say, well, you're not going to be able to come to screenings. I said, I belong to the Academy. I don't need Screen Actors. I don't need your screenings. I get sent screeners. I get all the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a member of the Motion Picture Academy. I don't need any of that. I don't need this. But they try to talk you out of becoming FICOR. I don't know what FICOR means. It's F-I and it's
What does it mean?
C-O-R-E.
Financial core. It's where you are a member of the union, yes, but you need the money, and you will take it. You'll take whatever they give you.
And they give you, you do a role. I mean, I went up for a commercial. They wanted to buy, yesterday, they wanted to buy everything out. They'd give you $100.
Oh, that's the, I see that all the time.
And some product. They'd give you a jar of cream.
$100. Imagine that, and the union allows that.
Yes,
That's why I ran.
It's essentially non-union in the sense, one, you aren't paying any dues anymore. Okay, you're not voting.
You don't have to vote.
You don't
You're
vote.
not,
You can't
you're not
vote.
voting. You can't vote.
And you.
You're on. It's sort of an honorable withdrawal.
Yeah, it is.
But you can do non-union. But you have to have this FICOR standing. Then I don't know, if you get a union job, don't you have to call them up and say, I got a union job? Or,
I would think so, yeah.
Or I don't know, let them find you. I always ran from the unions because I didn't want, you can do 3 films without becoming a member of the SAG.
Half-heartedly.
And at that time, back in New York, it was $750 to join. So I ran the other way. I never had any
Yeah, it was $850 for
$750.
me.
It's
Now
funny.
it's like thousands, isn't it?
Now it's 3,000, yeah.
I got that on Cagney and Lacey, Jim Frawley, who was my rabbi out here.
Yeah.
I call him my rabbi because he got me my SAG card.
Yeah.
I did this
What good does a SAG card do? That
back then in
doesn't get you a job.
1985. I'm saying, that's when I got in the union.
I joined in 71. It was I love doing this because I want people to hit me. I paid $125 to get in the union.
Back then.
$125.
Well, the producers paid the other part or something.
No, it was a half.
Well, let's get back to...
Let's get back to, I'm going to get out of here so you can
No,
talk about what you're
You
doing.
can just sit there. I want to know, what are you talking about with the union now?
The union is no longer a union. That's the main point. We have 20%.
Do you think they're trying to break the union?
Yes, I do.
What do they want to do?
One example, they want you to be subservient to the producer, where the producer says everything. We have had one example of how the producer has never come on board, which is mileage. 30 cents a mile. Cost me $10 a day to run my car. Okay, just for the insurance and the gas and everything like that. Okay, 30 cents a mile does not cover anything. Right. It just doesn't. And yet, other places are getting 70 cents a mile. It still doesn't cover it. It should be more like $1.50. But that's just the glaring example. They have never budged on the mileage. If you get it at all, you're getting 30 cents. Now, I used to drive up from Anaheim when I was doing a series here called Jericho.
Yeah.
And that's a 50-mile run. So that's okay. With everything involved, I was laying out $35, $40 for my car.
Yeah.
All right. They gave me back $15.
Yeah.
Well, that's if they gave it to you, which they
if
didn't.
they didn't, you'd have to run after that to get it. You'd have to call your agent and carry on and carry on and carry on to get what you're supposed to get.
I was
Yeah,
working.
our unions have never protected
Never,
us
never,
ever.
never.
Even SAG,
Right.
Sag-aftra, SAG. None of them really
No,
did
no.
anything for
No,
us.
they don't.
They
And-
haven't done anything for us.
And they're not going to. And that's,
And somebody up there is the producers, I suppose, are taking the money.
Yes.
They're taking the money that all those shows make, that go all over the world and everything else, all those TV shows and all those things that'll be running forever. They're just, some people just know how to like grab all the money.
they do.
I don't know whether you can even fight those people.
Well, you can, but you need a lawyer, and the lawyer. This is my mission with SHE. The lawyer is going to be me. I'm going to finish my law school here at this age. I'm going to finish law school, and I'm going to go and be the free lawyer for my part of the union.
That's great.
Because the last time we went out,
Well, what if people wanted to donate to help you get the?
that's nice if they do.
Well, how could they get in touch with you?
Well,
You'd have to set something up
I
where
need to set something up.
something maybe up on Facebook or
Yeah,
I don't know,
you're right,
some
you're right.
page or
Thank
something.
you, I hadn't thought of that.
Karen Black wanted to have some kind of surgery done.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
had cancer or something. She wanted some
Yeah.
alternative thing, and her husband put a note. Did you see that? Her husband put a note in saying, she's dying and we want to try this thing but we don't have the money and people on Facebook just sent her a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
And she did that. I don't know whether Facebook would be Facebook, everybody.
whatever. I mean, we're on.
Everybody knows
we're like
Facebook
everywhere
better
with
than
Facebook,
anywhere.
Yeah, but
But I don't know whether
I got slapped right in the face with all this. We went and went after many lawyers, and all of them said the same thing. We're starting at $100,000. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! What kind of a ripoff is this? All we're
they
trying to
want
do is
that
say,
as a retainer, and then they're
Retainer.
going to charge you. They're going to charge you $250 an hour, and that's cheap because it's
Oh,
usually
yes,
$500
right.
an hour.
That's
Exactly.
my
Yeah.
Martin
You know, and
Simone, my lawyer.
it's like, and there's no guarantees. I hate
Yeah.
lawyers. I really do.
Well,
I hate
Martin's a
'em.
good lawyer. I'm going to
hate
say
'em.
I
Well, it's
understand
like, who
that.
can afford them? I mean, it's like
Well,
easily with my property with signed. I just have to outlive this guy because he put everything in a trust. If I die, everything goes to him. If he dies, everything goes to me. I just have to outlive him. I'm not going to split. I'm not going to split now when everything's down.
Right,
I'm not going to sell everything I have because the market's down. I'm not going to do it.
right.
I'll just sit in there and wait till he dies.
Hopefully
If I-
soon. In the old days, we would have took care of that.
know.
Are you married right now?
No.
Anyway, so getting back to the union and not the
I don't believe
marital.
in marriage either.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it.
I believe.
We got three bachelors here.
I hope it's like I know you want to be. That's wonderful that you want to do something for the union and for actors.
I'm
and-
actually doing it for Membership First, which is a very small part of the union. That's the reason, because Membership First has been just screwed over completely.
What is membership first?
Membership First is one of two parties that has had or now has power. Membership First was the original SAG group that was Anne-Marie Johnson, Alan Rosenberg, you know the rest of them. And they were voted out of office by Ken Howard doing a really dirty trick. He brought in Seymour Cassell. Seymour Cassell.
To run against.
Right in the middle.
Seymour?
Yeah, Seymour Cassell diluted the vote just enough that Anne-Marie Johnson lost.
Yeah, she would have
Oh
been.
my God! Well, I always thought he was such a good actor.
He's a wonderful actor,
and
but
it's
he's
like,
but as a
he's
person,
like a
he's
crook.
a jerk.
He
He's right.
sounds like a crook.
He is. He is absolutely every bit of a crook.
Oh.
As long as I've known Seymour, I've wanted to punch him out, and I didn't want to go to jail, so I didn't do it. But
You could just kill him and eat him.
This is running.
see, this is it. I came here today.
I love this show. It's
knowing full
unscripted.
well-
It's
Oh, I know.
unscripted, and I love what we do here because it's real.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that so much, Sharon, coming out of you.
Yeah, I mean-
and John, really, you got to talk. I know your passion. I've been around you as a union member, and I know your passion. And sometimes, it gets really out there, and people are sort of afraid of you
I
because
don't
you really
understand
speak the
that.
truth,
I
and
don't-
people are afraid to identify with
I
that.
know.
They're afraid you're not going to work. They're afraid that producer.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
they do
it's
it.
not.
Well,
And
we
they
were on
do.
the-
I don't care.
When
you
we were on
know?
the picket
It's like,
lines-
I really want to work.
When we were on the picket lines, it was always the same group of people there.
Yeah.
Because other people, you know,
They're
you said you
afraid.
voted against the merger.
Yeah, I did.
And so many
I
people
did.
I've talked to
But
have
I don't
said,
think I would have gotten in front of a
Wait,
camera
so many
and
people-
said, don't
well-
vote for that because it's not any good for us. I don't know whether I
Well,
could
see,
have
I
done
did.
that. I think Barbara Luna did too.
yeah, I did. But what I'm saying is so many people said they voted against the
But there
merger.
were so many big actors
And yet they
voting
said they
for it.
won. They said they won by so much. How could they have
That's
won by
what
so
they
much
said.
when everybody I meet, I haven't met one
Yeah.
person
This is
yet
the
that
big- right.
voted for
Well,
it.
This is one of the big things about
Right,
it.
they probably
This
just
is one of the big things
didn't
about
count the votes and just made
Exactly.
a
That's exactly
made a
what they did.
determination.
They
you know?
said that
They
they
just
now,
said we
there
won
were
this.
several
We
things.
voted.
there were
Throw
several
all
things
those
about
votes
it.
away and let's just we
Yeah,
won.
That's it. They said they got an 86% return,
Yeah,
which is
and-
absolutely false. Because the 86, they're talking about the idea of 86% of the entire membership voted. That is not true. Less than, what was it? What did we
It
get?
was,
this
it was
last time?
about 20,000 people voted.
Yeah, and we're talking about a
That's
serious.
And you know, and I blame the actors for that do
Sure.
one because you didn't get out and vote.
Well, a lot of times they didn't know what was going
They,
on.
it's not a question.
Because,
Well,
you
look
know,
into
Screen
it.
Actors Guild, and if you talk to union people, if you talk to people, they all,
Well,
you know.
there was
and what's the
flyers
we
sent
don't
out.
even know what the consequences
Even though there was
really are.
with the ballot, it said what we stood for and what we were looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And people didn't want to take the.
Yeah,
and people
actors
were
are lazy.
afraid.
We're lazy.
And more people thought they were going to get stuff. The background people thought if they had the merger, they were going to get work. What they forgot about was that now you have so much more competition, so there's less work.
Yeah.
Yeah, right so.
Well, with this, they thought with I think FICOR and all these new things that they would keep business here. Everybody's going out everywhere else. We're not, you know, we're not. You can live anywhere and be an actor if you've got a
Today.
computer and if you can show up on location
Right.
and say
That's another thing. You have to show up
Yeah.
on location.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was never good. They took away first class.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
you're going overseas.
Yeah.
Everything. They just
Yeah,
take
all of
my
that's
days.
gone.
I don't know if you remember my agent Walter Bickel. He was Bickel Jennings back in. He was very big in Beverly Hills. But I mean, it's all gone downhill since Melissa. What's her name? Kathleen Nolan was the last
Yeah.
good president
Yeah.
we had.
Nolan, she was a beauty.
She sat right where you are years ago,
Yeah.
and we were talking, and I was so proud to meet her because she cared
It's really funny.
and she
came
fought
over to
for
a
the
meeting.
union.
We have these meetings. That
You remind me a little bit of her.
yeah, you do actually. You do, because
You do.
Well-
she was just
Only
sweet.
she had red hair. Remember on the what she's really famous for is when Walter Brennan. What was the name of that show?
Oh, the real McCoy.
The Real McCoys. She played the wife.
Yeah, Luke.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah, Luke.
But anyway, that was the last president that we had,
Great.
that I believe.
Yeah, as for presidency, yes, Kathleen Nolan, and the fact is she was very well known for being a really good president.
Good president.
You know,
Yeah.
and I wanted Patty Duke to be very successful. Unfortunately, she wasn't. She wasn't bad.
She didn't have the
Good.
Guillonis,
Yeah. She
which you know she lacked that, and
Yeah.
what you would say in English balls.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's what a lot. And I always thought too that
Just
it's,
stand
it's a
up to
conflict
them.
of interest.
yeah.
When you're the president, because you're a working actor, you're looking for work.
Yeah.
Now I'm dealing with a producer who's supposed to hire
who's
me.
going to hire you? But the producers want all the money and they want all the control. And they
But-
don't want to
and
have to pay
if,
anything.
If they're going to give you a
and you
job,
got
how
to
do you
stand
go
up and say,
against them?
I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you. My people work for you unless you give them. They've got to have dressing rooms. They've got to have transportation. They
Right.
have to be paid.
Right.
They've got to have their residuals.
That's all they had to
you know,
say.
it's
What you're
gotta-
saying now,
it's got to be.
but they never did.
It's got to be equal to at least what the directors get. I want the same deal the
That's a
directors
great
get.
point.
That's what I want.
that is a
I
great
want the
point. That is.
same deal the directors get. The actors are just as talented.
It's good for you. I mean, that's
Say
a
that
great
word.
point.
No, I
I'm
know.
sorry, it
I love-
really is.
I love it.
I never. Well, I didn't know about the director. I didn't know that they. I didn't know that. I'd do a half-hour show. I'd get the top of the show, which is $1,500. 3 drivers on the show, sitting doing nothing, get $1,500 apiece.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's like those unions. You know,
The
they've got a
AFL-CIO,
great
the
union.
Teamsters. Yeah,
They've got.
Well,
Why don't we merge with them?
Well, we
Let's
wanted
merge.
to.
I'd rather merge with the drivers union.
The
What are they
staff,
called?
the
What's that
staff at
called?
SAG is merged
What's
with
that
them.
called?
They got a better, they get
Yeah,
better
the
deals
staff,
than
The
us.
staff has got a better deal. It's
They're with the
unbelievable.
Teamsters.
Yeah, I want to be with the Teamsters. I want the Teamsters
Let's call
union.
up Jimmy.
That's what I want. I want the
Jimmy, yeah.
Teamsters union.
Let's go to.
I want to merge with them.
We go to
and
Giant
screw
Stadium, we
AFTRA.
get up Jimmy.
I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to. You know, somebody who's. I don't know. I shouldn't look. You can't look down on extra. Well, I don't know.
No,
who
background.
are the people? Who,
Background is.
Oh,
is-
after I used to work after anything
No.
that was live was after.
Oh, you remember, right?
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
live. It was live, and the way they were doing it in New York, it was live in tape.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
All the commercials were AFTRA.
Yeah, all the commercials.
And some of the they had these religious programs. They were all
any
AFTRA.
film scripted, and what do they call it? No, you had 2 camera. We had, or 3 camera, and we had single camera.
Yeah.
So that was.
You mean for the making movies and stuff, film?
Yeah,
one
when I
camera,
say,
but
yeah,
now
film,
they, you
film
know.
A-roll, B-roll, all of the things that divide it off from being a live or tape show. Live or tape is going to be straight through. That's it. You're never going to do that with a movie. Well, you can try. We tried it once. It delayed things for weeks. Didn't, filming in sequence.
Yeah. Let's go.
Batch.
Well, they're doing it now with a digital camera.
With the digital
Digital
cameras, yeah, because
work
we did.
wonders.
Well, you can go backwards and forwards or whatever,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you just have to be great at editing.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
And you can do it
They
all
do it
on a
right
Mac
there.
Pro.
They
You
do
can
it right
do
there
it
on the
all
set.
on a
So-
MacBook Pro.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, it's
all
like
on the
it's
set.
all
It's all
so
on the
easy
set.
now.
The director isn't even out there.
Yeah.
They'll come out and say, they'll come out with 2 screens in their hands, and they'll say, "This is what you just did," right? And this has been the whole day's work, right? And it's all edited. Everything's beautiful,
Great.
gorgeous. The sound, the lights, everything's beautiful. Right there, we looked at it, and I said, "Wait a second." And the guy said, "Yeah, it's all edited. Is this your first show?" I said, "Yeah, the first one I've seen." I felt like a complete amateur.
It is. It's a whole new world.
I'm looking for the big mouse ears on the top of the camera, with the film.
It's a little. The camera's like this. The
Yeah,
guy's
the
moving
cameras are like
around
this
with
big,
it.
right? I can make as good on my phone.
Yeah. That's another
Big
thing.
widescreen.
Do you like looking at yourself on dailies?
Oh, I love.
I like dailies. I can't watch. I like dailies, but I never cared much to see the whole film.
Really?
I didn't. I never saw the whole thing of anything. And once in a while, you'd get to be able to see dailies.
Yeah.
Were you critical
And
of yourself?
I
You-
learned how to. I learned how to watch dailies because you don't complain at all. You don't say anything, and if something is like you don't like something, you just fix it. It's like it's a check. It's a check about your wardrobe. It's a check about what you're wearing, your makeup, your hair. It's kind of like that kind of a thing.
I couldn't do it anymore. I just had to stop watching them. Because as you
don't
say,
like dailies,
anything
but,
critical, the critical thing is like I'm looking at it and I'm starting to make remarks. And
Oh
everybody.
yeah, you can't. You cannot make
everybody-
remarks.
She just said you ought to listen
You
to
gotta
that was
shut
really-
up.
I am.
You can't. You
because
cannot. You gotta
when I was
bite your
doing this,
tongue.
I had to
Yeah.
stop
You
complaining.
gotta say, "Oh, it's great."
Oh yeah.
And then they invite you to
God,
come in, and you get to see what you
Yeah.
want to see, and you can fix what you want to fix.
That's a
You
good
know?
point. I
No, it
never
is. It's
thought
an
of that.
It's an excellent point. I'm
You keep your mouth
totally
shut.
impressed.
Sometimes the
No.
truth will hurt you.
Oh, it did. It
Yeah,
did.
you
a
gotta be
couple of
careful with the
times.
truth.
Yes.
Be very
Couple of
careful.
And with the truth, we're going to end.
Oh, okay.
That's
Be
the truth.
That's
careful
it.
with the truth.
And this is number 5.
Number 5.
What a day this has been, and I really want.
This
This
has
is
been
it.
great only
you
because
know.
you're such
It'll be up tonight,
perfect-
or
a
since we did
perfect
5
example.
shows, it'll be up
Thing.
definitely by tomorrow.
So
Which will be
let's call
Thursday.
the Teamsters and let's go kill those people.
Well, you can't
We'll
kill
chop 'em
nobody,
up.
but those days are
Chop-
gone.
well,
There was a
shoot,
time we
let's bring
could.
them back.
We could do it years ago, but
All right.
those days are gone. So I just want to thank you guys.
Okay, I'll give you my phone number.